So hello everybody, it's me, the Excellent Reviewer. I'm back to continue the saga after a brief hiatus, to continue the saga of what happens in Sonic High School. Now we're just going to do a quick little recap of what's been going on so far. So far what happened is that Sonic, he's at high school, and all of a sudden he has a journal entry due for his class, turns it in, the teacher reads it, finds out that he has itchy balls, and the teacher tells the whole class knows now, everybody in the high school knows. Sonic is so angry, he goes home and he takes a poop, and it's so massive that the whole town talks about it, and on the same day that all of this is happening, turns out it's the prom! So he has to get ready. Turns out it's a trap by Eggman to all of a sudden capture him, and he's all like, oh, and I also have your girlfriend Amy, and it's time to have sex to her. And Sonic saves the day in that one. In the last chapter, they all, live happily ever after until now, which is the next chapter. Chapter 4, Sonic High School. Sonic did like in the first chapter and went back to school again. Now it's lunchtime, and Sonic was in the lunchroom. Sonic was telling all of the people at his table, who were Tails, Knuckles, Shadow, Espio, and Charmy Bee, about what did happen yesterday. But Tails already knew, so he was nodding his head like a good friend. You should have seen it, said Sonic. I was in the haunted house, and I shot Eggman, but I let him get away right before I could have killed him. Sonic laughed, and Tails laughed at the same time. Knuckles said, you should stop going on these cool adventures, because high school is more important, said Knuckles. And Sonic knew he was right, because it's called Sonic High School, and it should be more about the high school part. So Sonic asked them what they were up to. Well, I'm entering the science competition, said Tails. To win the science competition, I have to come up with the best invention. And my invention is this invisibility hat. It makes you invisible, but I can't do it right now because I have to make sure it works perfect for the science competition. Tails was so smart that Sonic knew he would win the science competition because Tails is like in Einstein. Nerd! Shouted Knuckles right into Tails' ear. What a bad guy. I'm just hanging out and not going to class because I want to cause trouble, said Knuckles. Knuckles was so bad that he would cause trouble. Sonic thought Knuckles was a fuck. Shadow was next, and he was badder than Knuckles, but in a different way. I'm not going to be around much longer, said Knuckles. He always did. At the end of what he was saying because it was mysterious. Where are you going? Said Tails because he was curious. I'm gonna go kill my parents, said Shadow. See, this is how Shadow is worse than Knuckles. He did serious bad things. At least at the end of the day, Knuckles could sleep. Shadow is too dark for that. I'm going to try out for the football team, said Espio. Espio was athletic like Sonic, but not as fast, but he had a horn on his nose that was good for attacking people in front of him, so Sonic thought he would be good at football. I'm going to try out for the play, said Charmy Bee. Charmy Bee was loud and singing always. You're an annoying fag, so you should do great, said Knuckles. Do not hurt my feelings, said Charmy. Charmy was so used to being hectored, so he was able to remove himself from his potent fury. Do you see Rouge now, said Espio. She is looking so hot in her tiny bra. Espio obviously wanted to kiss her deep. You should ask her out, said Sonic. But the prom was yesterday, said Espio. Well, that is okay. You can date anytime. Oh, said Espio. Well, then I'm going to kiss her tonight and have sex her tonight. Espio was like a little boy looking at his mom's boob for the first time. Sonic and Tails were both looking at each other, and they wanted to help Espio. We're gonna help you get a date, said Sonic and Tails at the same time, simultaneously. And we're gonna do it right now, said Sonic and Tails. Sonic and Tails got up and both grabbed one of Espio's arms and dragged him across the room. Sonic did the most dragging because he is stronger, and put him right at Rouge. What is this about? Said Rouge with a questioning sound. She blinked her eyelids quickly like a race car. What do you want? Why are you here? Espio looked right into her eyes with passion like 100 barking dogs and said, Rouge, will you go out with me? Espio was sweating, and there were drops of sweat dropping of his hands right in front of her. I don't know, said Rouge, and looked at Espio. Rouge gave him a sexy look that made Espio feel in love. Please do it, said Sonic and Tails at the same time. Okay, we can go on a date tonight, said Rouge. Sonic, Tails, and Espio were stoked and high-fived right there. By the end of this night, one of them would have had done their first sex. Now, here's the hard part, said Espio. How do I put sex in her without getting in trouble? Sonic and Tails looked at each other and thought, uh-oh, and Espio walked out, holding onto Rouge's boobies because they are now boyfriend and girlfriend and is allowed to do it. That's it. This is a short chapter of Sonic High School. But nonetheless, something very interesting is happening with Espio. He's going to have a date with Rouge, and maybe he might get to do sex tonight. So we're going to find out in the next chapter of Sonic High School. So do me a favor, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe button. I've been Samuel Lee, aka the Excellent Reviewer, and I'll see you all as soon as I can.